Hello everyone, this is Sportimus here, and today we'll be reviewing the Transformers Universe Classic Series Dropshot. He is a mobile missile battery tank, Voyager class, and he's quite large actually, which is why I picked him. He is a repaint of the Cybertron Defense Scattershot from the Cybertron toy line. However, this time he is a Decepticon with a completely different paint scheme. But before we get into that, let's first take a quick look at his box, which is rather nice. I really like the new design. This box is just like the San Diego Comic-Con Nemesis Prime. The only difference between the two, other than the figure and the art, is that unlike Nemesis Prime, who has no advertisement for the other figures anywhere on him, this fellow, along with all the other Voyager class boxes and Ultra classes, has advertisements for the other figures. In this case, that being Blaster and Heavy Load here, along with nothing here, but you got the same thing back here with the bio and the stats, which this guy is quite dangerous. And you've got one more ad here for the blades. So anyway, unlike his original mold, where he was an Autobot called Cybertron Defense Scattershot, this one is Decepticon Dropshot. And this guy, I tell you, he's one heck of a Decepticon. He is fantastic. His bio is not too bad, and his stats are really good. He's quite menacing, but my only complaint being his Fire Blast is a little on the low side. He only got a 7, which personally, when you're packing that much heat, that's a 10 easily right there. But anyway, enough about that. My box is a little dinged up, as you can see. We're here for this fellow right here. So without further ado, on to the figure itself. As you can see, he is a, like I mentioned, basically a tank missile battery. And he is packing quite a few. He's got 22 missiles ready to go right off the bat. And he is painted, I have to mention, almost in desert military camouflage colors. I like the green, this like an olive green type of shade. This brown is very nice, the very dark brown, which is the same shade as his treads. And as you can see, that's his chest. He's basically lying down in vehicle mode. His chest is a lighter brown color with some silver and other accents, as well as the green and more of that color there. And that color being not beige, and it's not a desert sand color, it's more of a creamy yellow. And it's more noticeable in some light sources than others. In this case, on camera, it's actually coming out more of a light beige. But in the right kind of light, he actually looks more of a yellowy, almost a sickly yellow. It's almost like a mucus yellow with a hint of green buried in there. With fluorescent lighting, it's more noticeable. With natural light like you have here, he looks more tan or light beige. But it's a very interesting color. It's a very sick color, to be honest with you. But it's rather fitting for a Decepticon. So that be it for that. He has little wheels on each corner here, little gray wheels, that actually have a little bit of indentations on them, which enable him to roll rather well. He's a very heavy figure, and he's a very stable figure. So he's very rock solid. That makes for a pretty cool figure. And he also has some movable minesweepers here. They go up and down, and he has these things that also move up and down as well. Not too sure what the top ones are, but the bottoms are just like the one found in Movie Brawl, where basically he can scoop away the mines and detonate them out of the way. So there's a lot of attention to detail here. He's got 9 wheels on each side, not including his guide wheels on the top. And that's really all there is to say about him. What you see is what you get. And his turret, by the way, I should probably mention that, does rise up to, yeah, it's about as far as it goes. And he does rotate, although mine is very clickety and stiff. But he should be able to rotate around 360 degrees, which he does. Thank goodness. And of course, like all Cybertron figures, he does come with the infamous key. This case is a clear brown color, and there's no paint details. It's just a solid, clear, brown key. And just like Scattershot, he has the same features. Oh, and by the way, the logo here is black. The Decepticon logo, which is kind of cool. I was half expecting a purple logo, but not in this case. And I like it. It blends well with the figure, as does the serial number on the side. You've got another smaller Decepticon logo. You have DC 02077, also tampoed on in black. So as you can see in the back here, he's got 2 holes, one for each gimmick. So we'll start with this side. You stick it in there, and as you all know, some cyber keys are a little stubborn, and in this case he's no exception. Lord, give me strength. Look like a wolf. There it goes. Alright, and out comes this big old cannon. And yeah, I like it. So as if the 22 missiles ready to be launched is not enough, he's got a big honking cannon popping out the side. These missiles do not launch, by the way. And on this side, we'll do the same thing. Stick that in the back. Boom, there it is. This side has dual missile launchers. There's a scope that pops out, spring loaded. And on the side here, there's a tab. You just scooch this forward. That's my word of the day, scooch. I meant to say scoot, or slide, whatever you want to pick. And 2 missiles fit right in there as well. And he's got 2 triggers right there to launch them. Transform him is very easy. Like I said, this guy is like, basically he's lying down on his stomach. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to remove these back panels. And by the way, that looks like a Minicon port on each side. I don't have any, so I can't show you. I don't have any Minicons. But anyway, there's a tab that's shoved in that slot that holds this panel together. You just work it out and pull back. See that slot? And there's the tab. So you pull that out, right angle. Do the same thing on this side. Pull it out, right angle. You're going to pull this out, and you're going to twist 180 degrees so that this tab is facing away from this side. Do the same thing on this end. Turn it all the way around. And you've got a tab here, like a peg, and you've got a hole there. Simple, simple, simple. That goes straight in there. Same thing on the other side. Hole, peg. End of story. Now these prongs here, minesweepers, are going to go straight out. That forms his feet, and these are going to form his heel spurs. So now we have him standing up. Well, he's back heavy because of his arms. You're going to pull his legs apart, and in this area, you're going to click it about a couple times. You're going to separate, and you're going to drag his shoulder around like that, and do the same thing on the other side. And he's pretty much almost done. The next step is his head is back here, and as you can see, he's got a little bit of a visible head syndrome, but with the way it's positioned, you don't even notice it when these things are up on top. So you just pull up like that. This reminds me of one of those Energon Autobots where his head is attached to a long extension thing of some sort. And he has a round peg that goes into this slot here. And he just fits right in there. Just push it forward and boom, he's in. For his hands, it's very easy. You have a little tab that they supply for you there. You just put your finger in that tab and his hands swivel out. And he has very nice sized hands, by the way. They're not small or dinky or anything like that. He's got pretty good sized arms and hands. That. Let's bend his elbow a little bit. And that. So there you have Universe Voyager class Dropshot. Very impressive figure, very, very nice. Do a little close up here. There's his treads there. He's got nice detailing there, same kind of colors. His head is very darkly colored, but he has like a visor for eyes. But very cool, very nicely detailed, very fun figure. Do a little 360 here for you. Very sturdy. I like that. He does not feel like he's going to break at all. He feels like he's going to take out a bunch of Autobots at any given second. I like that. I really do. In fact, since I don't have a Megatron in my Cybertron collection, I think this guy will be my unofficial leader of the Cybertron figures, because he's just packing so much heat. You know, he could be, you know, Megatron's cousin, you know, Melvin, the one that you haven't heard about. Melvin gets around, but, you know, he likes to keep it low. But he's packing pretty good. And there's just no way I can see anybody getting past this guy without a whole lot of damage and destruction. I'm really getting into this one. I really like him. I had a choice between Blades and this guy. I could have bought them both, to be honest with you. I picked this guy because he looks so much bigger, and I'm kind of happy about that. If you do see Blades, though, pick him up. He's not a bad helicopter robot. Maybe down the road, if I see him again, I'll definitely pick him up. But I really wanted another Decepticon, since I'm so short on them on my Cybertron line. Yeah. So on to the articulation. He's a lot like the classics Voyager Optimus Prime. He has the ratchety leg joints, which are really nice because you can put him into some really cool poses with that, because everything just stays, unlike a ball joint where gravity and weight will eventually get them out of their position. But let's get his arms out of the way here and check out his legs first. He can do the splits, so he's ready for the Olympics. He wanted to be a gymnast, but he killed his competition, so he was disqualified. So, yeah. And so he can definitely do the splits. He's very acrobatic. He's a very stable figure. He can bend straight forward, straight back. Yes, he can turn at the knee all the way around if you wanted to. He can bend at the knee very well, actually. That's a 90-degree bend. So he's, I mean, look at that. I wasn't even trying. And he's standing. I mean, and he's got these things hanging off of him. They're huge. So how can you not like this figure, despite the mucus yellowy beige color that he's got? What else can I show you? Oh, the arms. The arm articulation is also very nice. He can spin all the way around. the typical all the way around test. He can't go all the way out to the side. Not so much because of this thing. He just isn't made for it. He's got this edge here that gets in the way, so he can only go that far. But you can kind of cheat because he does have rotation here. So you can make him shoot upwards if you wanted to. Although that looks kind of goofy. But you can also have him shoot forward like that as well. So that's really neat. He's got lots of articulation here. He's got elbow movement. He's got upper arm, I don't know what you call it, upper bicep movement right there. I have to bend this out of the way in order to do it. But yeah, his giant launchers do get in the way a bit. But if you work around it, you can get some really cool poses. And he does have lower hip movement, which enables him to go all the way around. There we go. His Cybertron key gimmick still works. Just shove that in there. Boom. Where'd it go? There it is. It goes that way. Remember, that way. And he's got this neat little peg here that goes right in there. It looks like he's holding it. And we'll do the other side here. Just shove this straight in there. And activate. Wonder Twin powers, activate. There we go. And shove that aside. I really prefer a button for these little features, but whatever. This also has somewhat of a peg there, and it looks like he can hold it in his hand. It's not as well executed as the other one, but still pretty cool nonetheless. So yeah, we'll load these in there. Put that one in there, and we got two of them in there. One thing I have to complain about mildly is this scope is essentially useless since his head is here and the scope is here and this thing is completely blocking it off. But I guess if you're aiming, it really doesn't matter. He's got the giant cannon. It's on his arm. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's my justification for Megatron. But as if all this is not enough, I mean, you know, you can never be too armed. He does come with his own gun here. And he is ready to rock and roll. He is very bulky, he's very large, but it actually makes him more fun and more interesting. I find myself having a lot of fun with this guy. And this does slide forward and back. I find it so useless. I find that pointless, but whatever. Do the old pose here. If he wants to. If he's willing to. There we go. He's like, hey, what's up? I mean, look at that. I mean, he's just ready to... He's ready to pop one right there. He's ready to take out anyone. This is one of the nicest Transformers, not only in the Cybertron line, but in general. This is one of the nicest Transformers you can buy. Whether it's the Cybertron Defense Scattershot or this version, the Universe Voyager class Dropshot, which is a Decepticon. Either one or both, definitely worth picking up. Definitely, if you don't mind the pukey yellowish color, it's pretty cool. Definitely a fun figure to add to your collection. Whether you collect Cybertron figures or not, this is a cool addition even for the Universe toys. So with that said, scoring wise, tank mode, he gets a 9 out of 10. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more paint details on him. As for transformation, very simple, nothing all that spectacular, nothing very challenging about his transformation at all. However, it is nice and clean, so he gets 7.5 out of 10, which is not a score on difficulty. It's a score about how they thought it through. So that's basically how I see it. That's basically how I grade the transformation, by the way. As far as robot mode goes, I mean, man, I have to give him a 9.5 out of 10 easily. The only thing that he loses points on are his missile launching batteries get kind of in the way in some poses, and his head cannot look up and down without basically dislocating it from the body. But it can turn 360, and it does have a lot of articulation that more than makes up for it. He's fun, he's cool, and he's ready to do some serious damage, and by no means is this guy a wimp. And if you're curious to know how big he is in terms of comparison, here he is next to Voyager class Optimus Prime. He's a little bit taller than Optimus Prime, by just a wee bit. And next to the new Universe Sunstreaker, which is a fantastic figure, by the way. And Sunstreaker comes up just to the top of his shoulder, just about almost to the top of his shoulder. This gun is lowered down. Mine's a little loose, but he comes almost to the top of this line here. Don't hesitate if you find him. That is, of course, if you like this kind of thing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.